When you feel like you're standing in the middle of a dumpster fire, you gotta trust. You still have to trust that like everything's gonna be okay and everything's working out in your favor. When you are stripped down to the bare bones, it's because something amazing is coming after that. And girls, if you're watching this, do the scary thing. Whatever it is that is on your mind, that's the scary thing, do it. Dream so big that it makes other people uncomfortable. Welcome back to another episode of Cafecito y Chisme. This is a new series on Truthatude TV, and it's basically where I just kind of have a little bit more casual, cozy conversation with you and let you in on some of the hot goss of my life and spill the tea on some of the crazy, wild experiences I've had. Today's episode is a little bit different because it's my birthday this week. Yes, going into Scorpio season. I'm so here for it. So I thought I would just share a little bit about myself, a little bit about my background, some of my favorite things, my birthday traditions, let you know how season 37 has been going. Yes, believe it or not, your homegirl is gonna be 38 this week. I know, I look young and sprite. Thank you, thank you. Sunscreen, ladies, and water. So, yeah, I am closing the chapter on season 37, and I have to tell you that 37 has been a bitch. This is probably one of the hardest years I've had in over a decade. 37 was a very humbling year, and man, I'll tell you what, I have definitely learned who my ride or die people are. And it is a small circle. And that's okay. Small but mighty. They have come through for me, and basically, like, I'm entering my Phoenix era, but currently still in the burning stages. Shit has been rough this year, but I know that when you are stripped down to the bare bones, it's because something amazing is coming after that. And so, even though my life felt like it completely fucking crumbled this past year, I know that on the other side of this is something magnificent. So, I am ever the optimist, even though I do have days where I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I do have days like that. But most of the time, I'm pretty much like, yeah, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. One of the things that I learned this year, which is really been new experience for me and has typically been really hard for me in the past, was I have learned to be vulnerable and ask for help. I used to use, self-sufficiency and independence as like my badge of honor. Like I did everything myself. And that was like my pride, my banner, of like, I've done everything by myself, which is true. And it served me for a very long time. But in this past year, I have very much learned to let others pour into me and to be vulnerable and ask for help and to let people help me. And I'll tell you what, girl, it has been a hard blow to my pride and to my dignity, or what's left of it. But you know what? I will trade love and support and generosity for my pride and my dignity any day now. Like, I will happily release my pride to get support and love and generosity. And that was not easy for me to do. I can admit that. I feel like I've exited my overdoing era and entered my receiving era and like my soft girl life era, because I am definitely one of those people that's like, I can control as much as I can control, and that's like my power and where I feel safe. And secure is like having control over as much as I can. But this last year has taught me that like I can only control so much, and then the universe is going to do what the universe is going to do. And here's the thing, here's the comforting thing, right? I don't have to know the whole bigger picture, and I can't see the bigger picture. I just have to trust that everything is working in my favor, even when it doesn't feel like it, even when it's painful as fuck and it hurts and it's crumbling and shit's like going wild around you and you feel like you're standing in the middle of a dumpster fire. You gotta trust. You still have to trust that like everything's gonna be okay and everything's working out in your favor, and releasing that old version of yourself and that old life that you had is making space and creating room for all this abundance and this beauty and this amazing life that's waiting to unfold for you. And I hold on to that with all my heart because that's what gets me through the motherfucking day sometimes, okay? And I think the biggest struggle for me during season 37 of the Lindsey show is letting go of my pride and my control and opening up and leaning into the uncertainty and just trusting that shit's gonna be okay, and it's gonna be more than okay. It's gonna be fabulous. It's gonna be fabulous because that's all that's available to me is goodness. And it's up to me to decide like how I interpret events. And I can't always control the things that happen in my life, but I always can control how I respond to it. Am I going to respond to it with grace and love and acceptance all the time? No, because I'm human and I'm fucked up sometimes. But I'm real. I'm human, and that's okay. And so that is like some of the things that I've learned. And on my birthday, I just thought it would be fun to like share a little bit about myself and like how I've kind of come to be who I am. And so, I'm one of 5 kids. I'm the only girl, and so growing up with all boys has definitely shaped me. And I don't have parents. My mom is passed away. My dad is wherever the fuck he is, living his best life, not involved in mine. And, growing up basically being abandoned as kids, that shapes you. And so you feel like you have to have control of what you can control. So I get this question a lot, but I'm Mexican and I'm indigenous. My tribe is Ojibwe or Chippewa. Like I said, I'm the only girl of 5 children, so, crazy. But I'm originally from Colorado. I live in Florida now, and that was like a crazy story. I literally just like drove across the country when I was in my 20s and just took a big risk. And honestly, girls, if you're watching this, do the scary thing. Whatever it is that is on your mind, that's the scary thing, do it. Just do it. It will fucking work itself out. Because I'll tell you what, girls, I drove from Colorado to Florida basically on a whim, didn't really tell anybody that I was going, and I had $300 in my bank account. That's it. Like, I didn't have a job. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know anybody. Like, I just figured my shit out. And your 20s is the best time to do crazy shit like that. So please do it. Whatever the scary thing is, just do it. So I am first generation high school graduate, first generation college graduate. I'm a very proud member of Sigma Lambda Gamma National Sorority Incorporated. Google it, it's the best. And I am a dog mom. I'm single. I've never been married. I have chosen to be child free, which, if you want to know my journey on being child free and how I've created that lifestyle for myself, and my surgery story, I will happily make a video. If you guys are curious about that, just leave me a comment or send me a message and I will absolutely do a dedicated video to share my story about being single and child free. What's up? I love to sing, and I was a competitive singer for years. I'm also a poet laureate, and I love to write. And I'm a dog mom. You will see Zolsa, my little pit bull, in so many of my videos. So, subscribe so you can see her cute little face. Even if you don't want to see mine, you could see hers. She should have her own Instagram, I feel like. Let me know if you think that's something I should do, even though Instagram really isn't my vibe. It could be her vibe. So I get this question a lot. And at the time of this video, I am single. I've never been married. I've been close a couple of times. I've been in a couple significant, serious relationships, but I've never been married. And, a lot of people have a lot to say about that. And I will just say, ladies, if you feel like you're behind, especially if you're in my age box of 35 to 45, no rush. We have 2/3 of our life still ahead of us, and there's no fucking rush. It's better to wait and find the right person than to just get married for the sake of getting married because you feel this pressure with your age. And I am so thankful that I have avoided getting married and divorced, because so many of the people in my peer group got married in their early 20s and shortly after that got divorced. And I felt a lot of pressure in my 20s to get married and do all the things before I hit 30, and I'm so glad I didn't, because the 30s has been the most amazing decade so far, and I hear it only gets better. I hear your 40s are amazing, your 50s are even better, your 60s you're living your best life, so I'm in no fucking rush. That being said, you single gentlemen that are, high caliber, holler at your girl. So like I said, I'm very artistic. I love to sing. I love to write poetry. I love to paint. I love to dance. And then some of the favorite things that bring me joy are trying new restaurants. I'm a big time foodie, kind of a bit of a food snob. I love reading and exploring local bookstores. I'm addicted to books, as you can quickly tell from every video. I recommend a book, and I have a couple videos that are dedicated to my book recommendations. So if you want to check those out, I'll leave them linked somewhere here. I am a little bit of a nerd, and I enjoy it. I love to learn, especially anything about dinosaurs or space or architecture. I really love old architecture, especially Gothic architecture or Romanesque or French Baroque. I'm really into architecture, so whatever, don't come for me. And I just I love learning. I love being active. I love playing outside. I do yoga. I also do pole dancing. I love to ride my bike, and I love to roller skate, not rollerblade. I like to roller skate. So old-fashioned quad skates, that's my jam. I love to be outside, and I love to play golf. Nature walks are my jam, so I really love that. And I also love to just be a kid. I love to color in my coloring books with crayons. If you ever see me on a plane, I have my crayons and my coloring books, and I love to be artistic. And so I also like to play cards and Sudoku. And I'm wildly really good at Sudoku. I don't know. It's something new I've picked up, but I'm actually really good at it. And my best friend would make fun of me because she's like, is there anything that you're not good at? And I would say that's probably a solid no, because when you really work on your aptitude for learning and you just become a learner, you can pretty much get good at anything that you try. You may not be spectacular at everything, right? I'm not a spectacular painter, but I can paint. And I think it's really just because I've fostered my aptitude for learning, and I really encourage you to just make that a goal for yourself, just becoming a lifelong learner and trying all kinds of things, because it really opens you up to a lot of amazing experiences. It increases your social circle, because you can meet different people and have different conversations about a lot of different things. People are very surprised when I tell them I play golf, so I get to be in that social circle, or when I do yoga and I get to be in that social circle, or when I nerd out about dinosaurs and get to be in that social circle. We literally have this thing called Nerd Night here in Orlando. Yeah, It's amazing. So also I thought it would be fun on my birthday to share some of like my dreams and my bucket list. So on the very tippy tip top of my bucket list is I will interview with Oprah one day. I actually call her Hopra. She's my guiding light. I will Oprah. Yeah, I basically will Oprah. Now she's a verb. I will interview with Oprah one day. It's on there. I'm putting it out into the universe. Like, it's going to happen. I've had dreams about me sitting on a couch with her, just talking about life. And like, I want to meet her and I want to interview with her and just swap stories. And like, that's my dream. I also really want to travel and I want to stand in the middle of the Roman Colosseum and just spin around and like feel all the ancient energy and just be in that space of like just ancient, energy and like all of the things that went on in there and just the beauty of the architecture, the history, everything. I just want to be a part of that. And I also want to live in Europe for a little while. Like I've always had this gypsy spirit and I've always wanted to live in several different places and I really want to live in Europe. I want to live in Spain. I want to live in London for a while. I kind of want to just like live everywhere and I want to go on an African safari. Oh my gosh, that's like my biggest dream. So I live in Orlando and my favorite thing about Disney World is the African safari. It is the best. I will do that all day. So little pro tip for you if you visit Animal Kingdom, bring binoculars on your safari. Is awesome. Also, one really random thing I want to do on my bucket list is I want to take a year out of my life and live in every state for at least a week. So I want to do like all 50 states. I've lived in a few states now, but like I want to go and live in each state for like a week and just see the whole country because the United States itself is actually a really beautiful country. We have all the different terrains that you could think of and beautiful seasons and all kinds of landscapes. Like I just want to see the country for what it is, And I also want to own a piece of land and literally do nothing with it. Just let it be land. I don't want to build on it. I just want to let it be its natural, naturey self, but I do want to own some land and I want to live in several homes. Like I want to have my fancy New York loft apartment and I want to have my villa in the Mediterranean and I want to have a beach house somewhere and I want to have a secluded log cabin in the mountains overlooking a lake. So obviously your girl's planning to make lots and lots of money in her life to, afford this, but, it's possible. All things are possible, By the time I meet Oprah, maybe I'll invite her to my Mediterranean villa. You never know, right? I guess a few things that I've learned after being, 37 years on this planet, keep your inner circle small but mighty. You don't need to have 20, 30, 50 friends if you have a handful of solid ride or die people that will show up for you. And they do not have to be blood relatives. They can be friends, they can be colleagues, they can be old, young, whatever, but absolutely keep a small and mighty circle. And that also kind of leads into my next thing is make big moves in silence. I made the mistake several times of sharing my big dreams and my big goals, and a lot of people had a lot of things to say about them, and it was not always encouraging. And also the other side of that too was like a lot of this time I would make these big declarations of a goal that I had, and for one reason or another I wasn't able to make it happen. And I felt really let down because now I had told all these people that I was going to do this thing and it didn't happen, and I felt a lot of shame around that. And I always felt like when I made these big declarations that I was like pigeonholed to them. Like I had to follow through. Even if I had lost connection to that goal or didn't want to do the thing anymore, I felt like I had to because I made this declaration that I was going to do it. And so I've definitely learned to make big moves in silence and to just not tell people what I was going to do, but show them what I had done and like show them the result instead of telling them the intention. Another thing that I would say I strongly believe in after trial and error and pressure and a lot of inner voices and outer voices, with my goals and stuff is that you are never too young or too old to do anything. If you have something on your heart that you want to do, just find a way to fucking do it. Just make it happen. And that's not to put pressure on yourself that it has to be done a certain way. Just do the best you can with the resources that you have in the moment and the knowledge that you have in the moment. But you're not too old to do something, and you're not too young to do something. You will find the right time to do the thing that's on your heart. Just go for it. And do your best. It doesn't matter your age. Honestly, if you want to fucking start over at 60, do you, boo. If you want to do something big and scary and you're only 18, go for it. That's what your youth is for. I guess, too, one of the things that I've always lived by is dream so big that it makes other people uncomfortable. Your dreams are not supposed to be for other people, they're supposed to be for you. And I hope that you dream so big that it makes the people around you uncomfortable. And the people that aren't uncomfortable with your dreams are the ones that are going to help you and support you and help you get to where you're trying to go. Which I would say leads me into the thing that I've learned is don't ask for help or advice from people who don't want to see you win. Only ask for help or ask for advice from people who genuinely want to see you win. And that's not a lot of people. So you have to get good at reading people and figuring out who you can and can't share with. On my birthday, I've kind of developed this tradition that I've done for years, and I always like to spend my actual birthday alone, which to some people might sound kind of sad and depressing, but I'm such a freaking introvert that like that is my best life. Like, so for my birthday, I always spend the actual birthday alone and then make other plans during the week. I always have like a birthday week celebration. And you should too. Celebrate yourself. So what I like to do on my actual birthday is I like to get cute and wear my best outfit, like my favorite one at the time, get really beautiful for myself, nobody else. And then I always take myself to lunch. And then I usually go to like a nice bookstore or a thrift store or find some beautiful shop that I can get myself a new journal. So I know a lot of people start their new journals on like the new year, but for me, it's just been my tradition that I start a fresh journal with my birthday. And I just love that. And I have a set of questions that I ask myself every year on my birthday. And what I do is I read the previous year's birthday questions and like what I answered back then and kind of where I was thinking and what my goals were. And I'm happy to share that list of questions. If you want to do like your own birthday reflection, I'll share those questions. Just leave me a comment and let me know if you want me to leave those for you. I'm going to wrap up this video with my birthday wish. And that is for you to help me reach one of my goals this year. I would really love to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. And YouTube is really cool. It tells me that a lot of you are coming back to watch my videos, but you're not subscribed yet. So what are you doing with your life? Hit the subscribe button, come back, come see me, come chill, have a little cafecito y chisme, and help me hit 1,000 subscribers this year. I'm almost there. I just reached like 700, which is actually really amazing, and I'm really thankful. So I really hope that you like this episode. I know it was like a lot about me because it's my birthday, but I just thought it'd be kind of fun to like share a little bit more about myself, and so you kind of understand like where I'm coming from, a little bit more about me, like the nerdy stuff that I don't really share with a lot of people, and I don't put my life on blast on social media, so like you're not going to see any of that unless you come here. So I really appreciate you indulging me and allowing me to just kind of ramble on about myself for a little bit. And if you've hit the end of this video, thank you for sticking around. Means you like me, you really like me and all my goofiness. I really enjoy these Cafecito y Chisme because I feel like it gives me a chance to like showcase different sides of my personality, and that my other YouTube videos, the Truthatude TV, is more like to the point, sharing little bits of, knowledge or driving home a point that I really want to share. Whereas these are just more like me being personal with you and sharing a little bit of like the hot tea around my life and the crazy things I've been through, and I get to showcase like a little bit more of my personality. So I really appreciate you hanging out. If you want to work with me one-on-one, or you want to join any of my group coaching sessions, I will be opening up my membership soon. So be sure to join the wait list so that you know when that's going to be opening up. And I have a special exciting thing for my VIP members. I'm going to have a limited space for working one-on-one with me, and also part of the membership for the VIP level is going to have these little Cafecito y Chisme chats where we get together and you get to meet each other and connect with each other and me, and we get to like have our little gossip sesh together. And it's more of like just getting to know and making girlfriends, which I think is amazing. So if you want to be a part of that, then definitely join the wait list, because all the information that I'm going to be sending out about the membership is going to be via email, and I'll be dropping little nuggets in my YouTube videos. Like I said, I'm not really active on social media. It's not my vibe these days. I might make a return, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, I love you. Ciao.